All right, so hopefully if you have not finished the pixel art, you'll have some time to go back and do that. I do want to look at these last two here real quick, because one is like we were doing last week and one was like we did yesterday. So the one like we were doing last week is this last one where they're both solved for y. So essentially we're setting them equal to each other when we substitute this for y. So we have x plus 1 is going in for that y, and then we're bringing down the rest of that equation. So then we are solving for x, but we have variables on both sides. So we have to get rid of it from one side or the other. If you subtracted x, you can definitely do that too. So here I have 3x plus 1 is equal to 10. Is that right? That's not nice. So then I'm going to subtract 1. Oh, and this becomes nice. So 3x is equal to 9. Divide both sides by 3 to figure out what 1x is equal to. Am I done here? No, I've got to put it in. Y is equal to... See, I'm just choosing one of these equations. You can choose either one. Obviously, this one looks a lot easier to evaluate. So I'm putting in what x equals in here. So y is equal to 4. And then you just need to put it into your pixel art in ordered pair form. Now, the type we were doing yesterday looks like this, where only one of them is solved for y, and we're still putting it into our equation here. So we have 5x minus 2. Now, where the y is where we're putting parentheses. We need a little bit more room for this one, right? Is equal to 18. And then this is what is being put over here, because this is what y equals. So negative 2x plus 9 is going inside my parentheses. So the first thing you have to do is distribute through your parentheses that negative 2. So I'm bringing down my 5x. Negative 2 times negative 2x is positive 4x. Negative 2 times 9 is negative 18. Do not forget to multiply through here. Now I'm combining like terms. So I have 9x minus 18 is equal to 18. I've got to get rid of that negative 18. And then I have 9x is equal to 36. Divide both sides by 9. So x is equal to 4 here. I'm not quite done. I've got to put it back into my equation. Y is equal to negative 2 times 4 plus 9. So y is equal to negative 8 plus 9. Y is 1. Oops, what did I do? Oh no, I was just looking at the next problem. So I have a 4 and a 1. So this is 4, 1 into your pixel art there. Okay, so today we're moving on to page 10. Same thing here, right? A method of solving systems of equations. Equations. I'm just going back and looking. By substituting equations within one another. Right? Ditto what we've written the last couple of days. So we have to solve one equation for x or y. And then, of course, we're going to substitute this expression into the other equation and solve for the variable. Then we're going to substitute that answer into the revised equation from step 1 and solve for the other variable. So we have to pay attention to what we have here. This is x equals. So we already have one of the equations solved for x. So where am I going to put this in my second equation? Am I going to put it in for x or in for y? In for x, not in for y. So I'm rewriting this equation with parentheses, and then I'm putting this in for x because this is what x equals. So now you have to be very careful that you're paying close attention because we've been solving for x first, but now we're solving for y first, and we're using that to get x. All right, so we still have to distribute. 2 times 4 is 8. Don't forget the y. 2 times 7 is 14, and it's positive. Minus 6y equals 12. Combine like terms. 8 minus 6 is 2y. Plus 14 is equal to 12. Subtract 14, subtract 14. 2y is equal to -2. Divide both sides by 2. So y is equal to -1. Now, I'm putting in here into my x equals equation. Y was the unknown, but now I know what it is. So that's what I'm putting in here, but I can't forget the rest of that equation, which is that plus 7. So x is equal to 4 times -1 is -4. -4 plus 7 is 3. So be careful now when you list these that you put your x value first and your y value second still. It's always been xy, but we're just solving it in a little bit different order, so I don't want you to get mixed up what goes where. It's always x then y, right? Questions about what we changed? We didn't really do a whole lot. It's just another layer, right? So I'm going to go through these 4 with you, and then we're going to, I'll let you go through the boom cards. All your work should be shown for the boom cards, and then you're going to need to have 75% correct or more before you turn them in Google Classroom. So again, this is y equals. So I'm putting this in for y here. So 3x plus 3, open my parentheses. This is where my x plus 2 is going. And that is equal to 6. I'm distributing 3 times x, 3 times 2. Guess what happens? We have 6x plus 6 is equal to 6. Well, 6x is equal to 0. 0 divided by anything is indeed 0. So now when I'm looking for y, y is equal to 0 plus 2. So y is equal to 2. So this is the ordered pair, 0, 2. So that was just like we were doing yesterday. This one, we need to pay attention because this is what x equals. So when I rewrite my equation, I'm putting parentheses in place of my x. And then I'm putting in what x equals here so that I only have one unknown. Then that means to multiply, remember? Bless you. So 10y is equal to 10. So 1y must be 1. Now I'm putting that back in to figure out what x equals. And x simply equals 3. And then remember we have to list them, x value, then y value. Questions? I know that's pretty quick. We didn't have any integers going on in either of those two things, so hopefully that's not getting us mixed up. So just be careful that you see what you're going to substitute in for. I have y equals, so I'm substituting for y. 2x minus, here's where my parentheses go, and that equals 3. So I'm putting in what y equals into my parentheses so I can get rid of one of my variables. Be careful here. We have to distribute this negative through here. 2x, minus 2x minus 1 is equal to 3. Well, this is ugly. 0 minus 1 is equal to 3. Does negative 1 equal 3? No, there is no solution. And let me tell you why. So no solution, because notice if we rearrange this, so we add y to both sides, and we've got 2x is equal to y plus 3, subtract 3, subtract 3. When we solve for y, we end up with 2x minus 3. Look at my slopes. These two lines are what? Parallel. So we would expect there to be no solution. So if we ever get a statement that is not true, we know those two lines are parallel. There's no solution here. Okay, that's how we would solve that algebraically rather than graphically, right? Especially if they're not quite in slope-intercept form. All right, so then 1 is already solved for x, so we're putting this in for x here. So I'm writing out my problem. Minus 7y is equal to 41. So this is negative 2y minus 21. We have to distribute negative 6y minus 63 minus 7y equals 41. That's pretty ugly, right? So negative 13y minus 63 is equal to 41. Add 63. Negative 13y is equal to 104. Is that what you guys got? Divided by negative 13. I'm gonna guess, I don't know, 8. Because 3 times 8 is 24. 8 times 1 plus that 2 would be 10. So I can't stop here though. I've got to figure out x. So x is equal to negative 2 times that negative 8 minus 21. So x is equal to 16 minus 21. X is equal to negative 5. So here's your point where they intersect. Okay. So all of the boom cards are written out on pages 12 and 13. These you're setting equal. These you're putting in for y, putting in for y. You can set these equal, set these equal. Putting in for x, setting these equal, putting in for x, putting in for y, putting in for x. All right, so show your work on these 2 pages and you will access the Boom deck through Boom Learning. I want to say I did put the Boom Learning link in your thing, but if not, I'll add it there. But you can just go to boomlearning.com. You're still signing in. It is called Systems-Substitution Method. If you can't find it, I'll be around to help you be sure you can locate it in your Boom Learning. All right. All right, just a quick reminder, I might as well go through with you. Just a quick reminder that tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, you have time to finish up anything from this week, from weeks previous. So be sure you don't have any missing work. That will help with those points. You also need to complete each day a Google Doc. So tell me how many Alex topics you learned and anything else you did for credit for that day. So do turn those things in. Be sure you are completing something and not just wasting class time. Please be respectful for the sub, right? They're not going to be giving you anything strenuous to do. You just need to be working on what you need to work on. If nothing else, you have Alex. So if you're not doing anything, you should get at least 4 topics in Alex done each day. All right. Questions, concerns about that? We're okay? All right. Fantastic.